it fell off because I tuned this in.
You already know, man. It's Deion Dawkins, and you listening to the Real Deal Sports Show on the Beat 105.5.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Real Deal Sports Show on a very lukewarm Saturday morning, but the freeze is coming back. The snowman is in the house. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for Deion Dawkins opening the show each week with his opening line. I did vote for him for the AFC All-Pro team, offensive starting tackle. I did vote for the snowman. He is definitely one of the best in the National Football League at the offensive tackle, left tackle position for the Buffalo Bills. Bills coming off a 31-7 beat down of the Denver Broncos. Broncos went over the top early, had the early lead, took the early lead in that contest. We were like, whoa. So we thought it was going to be a little dangerous. I see J-GILLZ. Welcome to the show, J-GILLZ.
Oh, man. Glad to be here, as always, each and every week right here on the Beat 105.5. What an excellent, crazy, dominant week in sports. So much to talk about. Man, we got LeBron James and Maverick Carter trying to buy a league, right, man? We got the greatest women in the WNBA playing in their own league, unrivaled. We got Clarissa Shields with a fight coming up. And most importantly, we got the NFL playoffs right here on the Real Deal Sports Show.
And you got your girl who you like, too. You forgot about Osaka. She over there in down there in Australia putting a beat down on somebody, man, down there at the Australian Open. So she's doing her thing down there at the Australian Open. I was up watching Madison Keys is in a tight match right now with Collins. That's one thing. No matches be on at 4 or 5 in the morning. I always seem to be up around 4 or 5 in the morning. So this Australian Open seemed to be my thing each year, this time of year, catching them get it in at the Australian Open. So you're right. There's a lot to talk about. What's your take from that Bills-Broncos game of last Sunday?
Rad, man, I think everybody was in agreement. You know, watching Bo Nix, you know, drive down the field on that first opening drive. You know, to be able to just, you know, take the roof off. You know, who he caught? He caught Chris Curtis, that receiver over there over the top. Tyler Rapp. Everything looked like it was going to be a competitive game. But ultimately, what happened in Orchard Park tends to happen in Orchard Park. The Bills get it together, and there was another beatdown. You have to give credit right now to that Bills offense, even though they struggled in the red zone, because at halftime, it should have been 10-10 going into halftime. You know, Sean McDermott, him and that offense with Josh Allen, they just really couldn't get it together in the red zone. They ultimately opened it up. James Cook had an outstanding game as well, which really they had to lean on that run game heavily. Josh Allen made huge plays, 4th and 1. He goes and makes probably one of the best throws, you know, in this postseason so far. So you have to give the Bills credit where credit is due, but we all know, we looking at the passing last week, but we all can't wait to see what happens tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Orchard Park, New York.
Battle of the heavyweights tomorrow night in prime time. That's why they have that game at 6:30 p.m. start time. No thanks for us up here on the East Coast where it's going to be cold tomorrow evening out there at the stadium. But Buffalo, the Bills fans will be out there in numbers. I think it's going to be a very good game. We're going to get to talking about that game later in the show. I think some of the interviews, especially Deion Dawkins talking after the game. We're going to have some of those interviews, sound bites up in a few moments. Definitely, we're going to get to it because keep in mind, we broadcast live each week from the Advantage Federal Credit Union studios. We're broadcasting live each week from their studios for sure. And keep in mind, Challenger Community News, we're back. Largest weekly African-American newspaper is back with the Martin Luther King edition. Published this week. It's the January 16th edition. We pub every Thursday. We got Benjamin Crump addresses the Rochester educational crisis. And hey, as we know it, J-GILLZ, there's a crisis in the Rochester educational system, correct? Yes, indeed. There is a crisis.
It's unfortunate, but it is the truth. It's unfortunate, but it is the God's honest truth. It's something that needs to be addressed. And unfortunately, until we come together as a community, and even though these efforts are great today, to try and get Benjamin Crump here. It's still people not wanting to come together is what I'm seeing. People have felt failed and betrayed by this education system here, and therefore they don't want any parts of trying to make it better. And that's the most unfortunate part of this whole thing. But it does take coming together as a community to try and get it done.
Yes, and that's from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. today at Mount Olivet Baptist Church. Check out Benjamin Crump as he talks about the crisis. And like you just said, put your egos out the side the door. Maybe put it in the dumpster in the back somewhere, or maybe just sit it outside and let it freeze up. Let those egos freeze up in the cold outside and come in and work together to try to make Rochester a better community. Because there's a lot of good teachers, a lot of good students. But hey, y'all, we got some kids that really need to be in one location, getting themselves taught by the drill master, a sergeant general, because these kids need teachings of obedience, respect, and the whole 9 yards. We got to do something about these kids that just don't come to school and don't want to learn. They come there just to churn and burn and try to bring other people down. That's not the way it should be happening. Hopefully they can make something to get these young people get their minds right. Because here on Real Deal Sports Show, we're gonna bring you the cream of the crop. We're gonna have some of the students coming back, Marquand and another. He got some other young people coming on in the weeks here on Real Deal Sports Show. So check it out. Definitely read this in this week's Challenger Community News. Pick it up at most businesses in the community. Learn all about that. Learn about the new school board moves. Learn about Willie Lightfoot retiring from the school board. And how can we forget all about the different news and facts and news, health and fitness. Hey, cold and flu season is out. Get yourself together for taking care of yourself during this cold health and flu season. And I also want to dedicate the show to my mom, Diane Radney. Rest in power, rest in peace, and heavenly peace. Grandma Diane to the grandkids, and Mama Diane, Hortense Diane Radney. When she needed to straighten me out, she balled up her fist and punched me right in my chest, man. Knocked the air right out of me. I never forget that. Bobby Jones said, man, he thought I was going to die, man. He said, damn, Joe, I thought you had that was done, man. We were going to have to take you to the hospital, man. But Cliff picked me up. My brother Cliff picked me up and slid me back in the back seat of the car and took me home. And that was the last time I ever raised my voice to my mama, raised back up on her. Never did that again. Some of y'all kids out here today, maybe y'all parents need to rise up on y'all like this, because man, y'all bringing it too strong to these schools nowadays. But that's my mama, Hortense Diane Radney. Diane Radney, your birthday last week was January 11th. We're doing it a week late. Not out of our hearts and in our minds. So dedicate the show to Hortense Diane Radney. Definitely.
Now, Shay, what's up? Good morning, Real Deal Sports family. It's been a minute. It's been the Fanatic, or it is the Fanatic. It's been too long. Glad to be here with you all. Shout out, I got to know Grandma Diane, Mama Diane, man. She was an amazing woman. Shout out to her. So I love to hear that dedication. What's up, my man J-GILLZ? What up? BacSpin on the ones and twos. Hey, man, fantasy season is over. I'm ready to play again, man. Let's do a baseball league or something, man. I love playing with y'all in that fantasy league. So what's happening, Radman? Where you want to go, man? Shout out to everybody. Let's get it.
Well, good to have you back, Fanatic.
Yes, indeed. We're going to go with the interview with Deion Dawkins. Hear what he said about after him and Benito got it on in that game last week. That was a serious throwdown if you were watching the left tackle against one of the premier edge rushers in the National Football League. Let's hear what Deion Dawkins had to say about that matchup.
Oh, Deion.
Tonight, I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to enjoy this win because it's hard to get to the postseason, right? It's hard to win a playoff game. I promise you it's hard to rush for 213 yards in a game. You know, we're tired. We left it all on the field. We play with energy. We play with passion. And, you know, I'll look at that purple film tomorrow.
That's a nice jacket, too, by the way. But
yeah.
Deion, you mentioned they scored first. You mentioned this. If you see from the defense.
If you weren't playing it, it'd be very good that you guys push.
Yeah, you know, no energy bubble.
How was it going against
Thank you, bro. Thank you, brother, for sure.
How was it going against Nick Benito today?
It was cool, but, you know.
He's been having a real good season and been, some impressive games. What's your take on his?
You know, I am who I am, and I am not average. So Nick played one of the best tackles in the NFL today, and I played one of the best rushers in the NFL today. And
something got to give.
You know, I'm blessed to be who I am, and I'm blessed to be able to be in a position to play against the best.
Is this the best of the years, all the years you've been here? Is this the best line that? Because your line play, all of you guys seem to be, man, firing off the ball. It's very consistent, the most consistent line I've seen.
I think we're the best in the world, man. You know, we see it. You know, even though I don't care if the world sees it, but we want the world to see it too, and give us our credit where credit is due. You know, and I speak about it like I didn't make All-Pro this year,
Right.
which is BS.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I'm thankful to be in a position, thankful to be able to and protect 17. Thank you.
All right. That's Fanatic. Your comments on Deion Dawkins. He's the best.
What a gem. What a gem. What a gem is Deion Dawkins. And man, Radman, J-GILLZ, the whole Buffalo media, y'all are lucky to get to cover somebody so real, so authentic, such a character. I love the drop that he does for the show, but regardless of that, that is an all-time great player right now who's, I would think, in his prime. Radman, I feel like this is on a rewind. You talked about the Bills offensive line being so great last year and the continuity and them really staying healthy. And now they got it again this year. Folks, what I hear from this, don't let football and don't let ESPN, Fox fool you. Football at the core of what it actually is, it is who can be better at moving one man. What team can be better about moving one man against their will? The offensive line play is so key. If you got the greatest quarterback, we saw with Pat Mahomes, if you don't have an offensive line, you aren't that good, no matter how great you are at the quarterback position. If you don't have a defensive line and your quarterback can pat the ball, order food, some wings, order some crab cakes, order some jambalaya down here, and they can throw the ball, no matter how great your defense is, if your defensive line isn't strong, both points is the offensive line and defensive line, man. You got to have those. And Deion Dawkins, it is a shame to me that he didn't make All-Pro. But I know I love that little humble brag right there, talking about, hey, he played against one of the best, Benito. And then it was so it's the love for 17, the love for himself to say he ain't playing somebody who's average. Conquering average is so hard to do on a day-to-day basis, especially in pressurized moments. It's easy to be average. To be great and push yourselves, it's a hard thing to do, and Deion Dawkins is going to tell you about it. He's not afraid to, man. We got to get Deion Dawkins on the show, man. Tell him to pull up and come kick it with us.
Absolutely. And let's go to the Spencer Brown interview. Hear what Spencer Brown had to say.
The running game, you guys seem to be having a dominant run attack.
Yeah, it's just the install this week was good. Brady brought back some old things that we ran earlier in the year and put the finishing touches on it and tweaked things here or there. Sat down in the line meeting with Chrome, and we had some confusion with where we were going and working with the tight end. So that was a big emphasis this week. And Jimmy and Ty and Ray all ran hard, and it's kind of what you want in the playoffs. You want the offensive line to control the tempo of the game and control the clock. Time possession, I think, it was like what? There you go. So, it just all factors into the end result, and we'll keep rolling from there, hopefully.
And how much does it need for the offensive line to be intact for almost 2 years? I mean, you guys almost
I think I was the only one that sat out, right? Kansas City was the only game that
that's right.
So when you have cohesion like that, and it isn't like everybody's first day, it's okay, we're running outside zone, Mike's that guy, Connor, okay, yeah, we got it. So it just all goes into just the flow of it, and it's just clean, and there's no hiccups along the way, and that just breeds confidence in the offensive line and the running backs, and that all goes together.
Yes, indeed. And man, just to only miss one game in 2 years. And I forgot it was him when we were talking to us. Oh, damn, it was you. He missed the Kansas City game. I actually missed the Kansas City game too this year. That was the one game that he did miss. But that line has been pretty much intact for 2 full seasons, and that's including playoff games. I mean, that's unbelievable for an offensive line to be together. And you can see they're firing off on all cylinders. And I think that's going to be definitely one of the keys tomorrow. As Spencer Brown was saying, they controlled the ball, they controlled the clock, and kept Bo Nix and them off the field. And the Bills dominated the time of possession against the Broncos. It's going to be interesting to see tomorrow. But let's hear what head coach Sean McDermott has to say about the upcoming Denver Broncos.
Wait. Before we go to that, wait. So listen, right there with the Spencer Brown, Deion Dawkins. You talk about the connectivity and not being injured. I would just say, to me, this is why I love watching the game versus watching the numbers. Deion Dawkins was actually ranked by Pro Football Focus, ranked lower as a tackle position than Spencer Brown. Spencer Brown, they actually rated Spencer Brown 26th out of 81 eligible tackles. And then Deion Dawkins 34th out of 81. So I wonder if that is part of why they didn't make All-Pro. But to have them, to me, man, when I watch them play, they dominate the game. So that's an interesting number. So that may put a little bit of context to why they didn't make All-Pro. But, man, I think they're playing better than what the Pro Football Focus rankings
Yeah,
are
that's
saying.
crazy. That's crazy for Deion to be ranked that low. You would think, and this is what makes me mad as a Dolphins fan. You see, my man John Smith had this was his best season ever. But you get a guy like Travis Kelce who had a mediocre season, getting that Pro Bowl start. I couldn't believe that. But then you got a guy like, so Travis can get grandfathered in. But Deion can't. After the all pros that Deion made, Walter Payton Man of the year after year. Come on, man. Put some respect on Deion Dawkins.
Yeah, you really should. You really should, because it is getting disrespectful to see him not. I tell you what, instead of that head coach, let's finish up with the Broncos game and go with the Javonte Williams interview. The Denver Broncos, Javonte Williams interview coming up.
I don't see that interview, George.
You don't see that? You don't see Javonte from the Denver Broncos? J-GILLZ sent it in. You don't see that one?
Which email you sent it to, Jay?
The BacSpin at the beat.
Say it again.
The BacSpin at the beat.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't want to get your email on the live airways.
No, it's all
everybody
good.
hitting you.
Everybody know that one. At least they should. They contact your boy.
They say something wrong.
Everybody music, BacSpin.
Yeah.
I love it. J-GILLZ, J-GILLZ, that's why I love you, dog. Yo, look, he looking out. He like, I hear my actor. I don't know if you want me to do it.
It's all good. It's all good. We go with McDermott because he got a tough matchup this week. I want to hear what he got to say. He got a tough one.
Well, hey, I would say, kids at home listening, what Radney was starting with, hey, you need friends like J-GILLZ who gonna look out for you in moments where you like, I think I'm all good. Hey, it's always good to have a friend just to check your blind spot. To say, yo, you sure you want me to put your email out here for the world to hear? You sure? Hey, man, you need everybody need a friend like J-GILLZ.
Because by the way, my news carrier, his son is a rapper. He just gave me a CD. He wants you to get that on. So I'll tell him. I'll send. Now that I know about your email, I'll send it to your email. I have him send it to your email address.
There you go. Okay, I got the Javonte Williams ready as well as the Sean McDermott. Let me know.
Okay, let's go with Javonte Williams, and then we'll roll right into Sean McDermott.
Cool.
Hey, with Javonte Williams, obviously not the outcome that you expected. What kind of went into the game plan, and how was it executed or not executed moving forward in this game?
Yeah, we knew it was gonna be a battle in the trenches, O-line versus D-line, so on both sides of the ball. So we knew that was something that we wanted to focus on. And I mean, it just got out of control real quick. You get down by that much, you got to start throwing the ball, trying to catch back up, and it just didn't go our way today.
Last time you guys played Buffalo, I believe it was last year, Sunday Night Football, you guys came out on top on that. Did you see anything different from the defense this go round?
I mean, I just feel like they made more plays. I feel like last time we played them, we got on them early, causing turnovers and things like that. And I feel like we had a fast start, but I feel like they got off to a better start than we did, and they just kept the momentum.
And lastly, what can you take with you in the offseason to just, continue being the great player you are? Obviously been in this league many years so far. How are you going to just move forward?
Yeah, just keep believing in myself. Keep going out there and grinding and working hard and just doing what I know I'm capable of doing.
Thank you.
So I appreciate it.
Excellent. And we'll go right into head coach Sean McDermott.
George Radney, Challenger Community News. Good afternoon to you.
Hi, George. Good afternoon.
Great. I was wondering, on the linebacker side, what do you feel is the key to stop a running back like a Derrick Henry before he gets going downhill on you?
Well, if we had about 5 300-pound linebackers, I think we'd be in pretty good shape. I think. I don't know. I think it's, I don't know who has that size of linebackers in the NFL. He's been doing this for years, and he's really good at it. So I don't know if anybody's ever stopped him. So certainly at the top of his field and what he's been able to do for the duration he's been able to do it for. And like I said, Lamar and him make a heck of a 1-2 combination.
Yeah, as you just alluded to, at 300 pounds, do you see now that the running backs are coming back into the fold and the wide receivers are kind of being a little bit lesser now, that the linebackers will be going to bigger, teams will probably be starting to look for bigger linebackers in the future?
Yeah, I mean, everything is cyclical, right? What goes around comes back. And so, yeah, it works in cycles for sure.
And last question. I noticed Lewis Shine was picked up by the Philadelphia Eagles last week. And I wondered, how does that work with your organization where you put in a lot of time and effort and look like you turning them into a safety possibly or a linebacker per se, a hybrid type player? And he was just, you guys work with him, seemed like almost the entire year. And then someone just poaches him off of your practice squad roster. How does that sit with you and the organization?
I think you could probably imagine how that sits, right? You spend a lot of time on a young man, but listen, he it is what it is. It's kind of the way the business works, and it's unfortunate, but another team, wanted to get him on their active, and I'm happy for Lewis. He's a good young man and got a bright future. Just wish it would have been with us. Absolutely.
So you would have had to put him on the active roster. Is that how that works, Coach?
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
And because you didn't move him up the active roster, then they can go ahead and take the player.
That's right.
Thank you, because I wasn't 100% on that either. Thank you, Coach. Yep. Appreciate your time. Good luck this coming Sunday.
Okay, thank you, George.
Super Bowl Sunday.
Coach Mookie Hawkins.
All right, Mookie Hawkins. We catch up with Mookie later, guys. But hey, that was the head coach. And that Lewis Shine, he's 6'2", almost 200-some pounds. Cornerback safety out of Georgia. He was MVP in the championship game, the first Georgia championship a few years ago. I don't know what's up with the Eagles. Now the Eagles got 9 guys from that Georgia championship team on their roster. I don't know who's there, why they got so many. They think that Georgia team was one of the best teams ever for them to get 9 of them. And for the Bills not to move somebody, gamble and take a Cole Bishop, let Cole Bishop go, cut him from the team, and move Shine up to the active roster, I would have gambled because that kid is big. He's good against bigger tight. You go against tight ends, Fanatic. I think this kid, Lewis Shine, because of his sight, his ability. But then again, we don't know how well he's been changing from a quarterback to the safety position that the Bills are training him like a Tyron Johnson, the heir apparent to Tyron Johnson. That's what it looked like from the practices all season. He's been here all year. Brian Flores cut him because he broke his leg a year ago. It took a long time to heal because it was a compound fracture. The Bills picked him up, had him all season since training camp all the way to this a week ago. And I was very disappointed to see this man go to the Philadelphia Eagles, Fanatic.
Yeah, man. Well, to me, well, actually, let me go back. Radman, let's put it in perspective. Are you saying that you feel bad because you feel like he would have been effective in this game, this Ravens Super Bowl game? Or are you worried about long-term with this guy?
I think both this week and then the Kansas City game. Because Kansas City beats Buffalo with 2-3 tight. The Bills, they go with whoever tight end is on the undersized defensive back. And this kid would have been the size guy that you would definitely inserted him in against KC. And heck, with a team that as big as this squad is, they're going against the Ravens, I would have inserted him in these next 2 football games for sure.
I love it. That's where I thought you might go. So, so what's your philosophy? Because to me is, if I'm going, especially with like my team at LSU, if we go into a big time event, I don't want no first time player who I ain't playing with, who I ain't put on the active roster all season. You want to see him? Did he play against the Patriots, Radman?
I think he did. Yes, he played a couple games. He did. He was more special teams, but I didn't see him play in the corner. He definitely played maybe 2 to 3 games this season. He was active. He played majority special teams.
Okay, well, to me, yeah, my point is going to be if he would have been playing, he needed to practice playing against the New England Patriots. Really, my squad, man, we are awful. So, yeah, he would have had to play full game in the position that I would have maybe foreseen him in to lead to these moments. Because we knew the Bills, again, they were the first team to clinch. They knew these matches were coming. To me, my point, and J-GILLZ, I would love to hear your philosophy because I want to talk about it, is there's no way that I want to go ahead and in a big matchup like this, then I'm putting in some cats. I don't know how they go perform. If you go to the Ravens and beat the Ravens here in Buffalo, and then you turn around and you had to go to KC, I don't want no cat named Lewis out there. I want Ed Oliver making plays. I want Deion Dawkins making plays. I want cats who I know. I ain't telling you what I heard. You tell us what you heard, Rad, man. I want to know what I know. I don't want to be worried about him checking likely and getting stiffed arm and embarrassed. And everybody, Troy Aikman and Brady got to look to be like, who the heck is that? Nah, I want them to know it was Von Miller. It was Greg Russo. It was Matt Milano. This is a time for players to who we got to name, who we paying to make the plays. Because Baltimore, I can't believe they are a 1.5 favorite in Buffalo.
On the road, exactly.
You need on the road coming to the Ralph Highmark Stadium. I don't need no cat like that this week, Rad, man. I love it. This is why you the aficionado. I'm telling you, me and my status and my philosophy, I want my players who I pay to make big-time plays and big-time games. J-GILLZ, what's your philosophy?
Man, I'm right there with you. You know, but to Radman's point, the way that the Bills play defense, you know, he loves to blitz. Sean McDermott, we've known this, we've seen this all season. He falls in love with it, but he really cannot stop the run. So he's gonna have to change something because we know Baltimore is coming with a tank. You know what I mean? Baltimore is coming with a full press tank. You know, they got a great wall of China. They got everything, you know what I mean, that they need to run over the Buffalo Bills in this negative weather. So, I mean, they're going to have to make some adjustments from Sean Dermott, and that's really the Achilles heels of a Sean McDermott. We've seen him not be able to adjust, you know, when he comes to some of these Super Bowl winning coaches. So really, something's going to have to give. The way that they have it right now, and I don't want to hear Matt Milano and Terrell Dotson didn't play in that first week again. That's not going to stop Derrick
They
Henry.
need help.
That's not going to stop Derrick Henry. So they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to do something.
And you need bigger bodies out there. And Fanatic made a key point. I was very disappointed in the last 3 games that Lewis Shine didn't start. Why would you have a Tyler Rapp with the little big old extra helmet on his head? Get blown away. I mean, he got beat 2 weeks in a row, looking like Mr. Kazoo out there on the field. Hey, man, the dude got beat twice. I mean, how you come in and the man run right behind you? He wide open for a touchdown. And did you notice against Denver, who was beat again? Tyler Rapp. But Tyler Rapp, man, ever since that last concussion, he hasn't been right, man. I would have sat Tyler Rapp, had Lewis Shine out there play the last 2-3 games on the roster, have him play, and then make the decision when the Eagles came calling. I said, man, Eagles, hey, aren't they a playoff team? Aren't they hey, if they see something in this guy, hold up, man. Y'all ain't getting them from me, man. I would have cut Cole Bishop, man. Some of the young rookie draft. Yeah, we drafted him, and I would gamble that we could have picked him up a day or so late, 24 hours after he goes through waivers and put him on the practice squad and cut somebody else from the practice squad like they do Eli Anku. They always cutting him. I'll cut somebody from the practice squad and put him there. I would have kept Lewis Shine and had him in the lineup, but he's not going to be there. McDermott loves going with his guy. We done seen his guys get run over by a lot of different teams. Hey, he's got to do something different. I'm sure he's going to blitz, have 9 in the box, and force. Every time the Bills play them, quarterback Lamar Jackson doesn't seem to have a good passing game, except for that last game. Of course, the game but that was a Sunday night football. The Bills had a lot of injuries going into that game. The Bills had 3-1. They were 1-2. They needed to win, and they had Cincinnati coming up the next week. So it was an all-out must-win or bust for Baltimore in that game. So it's going to be a better performance from the Bills tomorrow. We're going to give you we're going to give you what we take on that coming up. But now we're going to switch gears.
Wait, Rabbit. But just on that, hold on. Let's just finish that right there. I think we talked about Deion Dawkins. We talked about Spencer Brown. We heard from both of these cats. I know you always were high on him early. Osiris Torres. Yeah. Talk to us. How do you think that the Bills offensive line, number one, is going to stop Metabuke? And that Ravens defensive line, Lamar's playing fantastic. So is Derrick Henry. But to me, I really believe it's going to come down to the lines. The Bills offensive line is great. The Ravens defense is playing phenomenal these last couple of weeks. The Chiefs defense playing phenomenal these last couple of weeks. But to me, so tell me, Rad, man, and tell the audience, J-GILLZ, would love to hear yours as well. How does Deion Dawkins and the rest of the O-line handle the Ravens defensive line, number one? And then the second, because really Josh was looking under duress. He was looking like he wanted to call his woman, Haley Greenfield, and be like, baby, get me out of here. Last time he saw these Ravens. If they come in them black jerseys, my man, hey, he might be calling for her again as she's sitting up in the box low key. But to me, and then flip it, tell us the other side. When you got Derrick Henry coming, we know he coming. What's up, Greg Russo? Pro Football Focus got him ranked in the top 10 as DEs this year. That I didn't see that this year. What's he going to do? I'm gonna go on the Randy Macho Man Savage to our younger listeners out here. What you gonna do when the Macho Man runs wild on you? What you gonna do when the Macho Man? So Greg Russell, Daquan, Ed Oliver, AJ Smith, Radman, somebody talk to us, and we can do it after the guest. But I'm interested. How are the Bills gonna try and stop on both lines this Ravens attacking offense and defensive line?
I got the answer for you. I got the correct answer for you. How they're going to do it, but we're going to do it when we get to our pick'em segment of the show, our final segment of the show. But right now we're moving into our guest. Our guest is coming up with us right now. Coming in, Rock Pawnbrokers, 559 State Street. Give them a call, 585-262-9920. Deal or no deal? Hey, it's on and popping. Get those Valentine gifts. Find about what's wearable is. What is he talking about on that new promotion that he has called wearables? Wearables. Do you know what that might be, Fanatic? You know what that might be on that one? Calling it.
You know the kids keep me on fleek. You know I got that, man. Yeah, but go ahead. But we're gonna go Rock Palm, bro. But for us, hey, I tell you, it's worth the call. Check them out. 585-262-9920. Chuck to Sammy and the crew. Big sponsor. Go talk about all the good stuff. Get it early, fellas. Don't be last minute with your Valentine's gift. Get it in.
Absolutely. And now we move into our next segment, stop on down, 559 State Street. Check them out. Open 7 days a week. Get it, and get ready. All right. Now we move on to our guest, Mr. Willie Gibson, the host of Will I Am podcast show, the Will Knows podcast show, who covers the Cleveland Cavaliers, Ohio State football. Welcome back to Real Deal Sports Show. Willie, how you doing this morning?
Gentlemen, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yes, indeed. Can you tell what's going on with the Cleveland Cavaliers? Everything you told us last year in the spring when you were on came absolutely true. They signed everybody like you said they were going to do, and why are they off to such a great start again this season?
They found the right coach, and that's not shade at J.B. Bickerstaff. J.B. Bickerstaff is a great coach. You see what he's doing in Detroit right now with that young squad. But that's J.B. Bickerstaff was the coach to get them to this point. Kenny Atkinson came in, unlocked that team, and you see now 34-6, best record in the league.
Wow, Fanatic.
Yeah, shout out to the Cleveland Cavs. I know they got beat down by OKC, so sorry to jump in on that. But talk to us, man. Really, the record is what the record is. We all know, man, the NBA right now, they are still trying to push the aging stars, the Steph, the KD, the LeBron. All those teams are really on middle-of-the-road teams, not really championship teams, unless they really join forces to come together. It really needs to be Cleveland, OKC, talking like that, these young gun teams. So what's up? Do you think realistically, is the Cavs, simply put, is the Cavs record real? Are they that good, or is it fool's gold because they playing some of these other older teams? And we know the NBA has a huge problem with load management. Is the Cleveland Cavaliers as good as their record indicates?
And yes, they are. They are because they have the talent. Kenny Atkinson came in and unlocked Evan Mobley. You see what Evan Mobley's doing right now. He's in year 4, and he was getting to that point with JB, but I don't know if JB wasn't able to get him over the hump. Kenny Atkinson has come in and gotten him over the hump. Donovan Mitchell is playing at an all-star level and doing what he was brought here to do. And I think the key is Darius Garland. Darius Garland was fought through a lot of injuries last year, healthy, and now he's, I believe, the only player in the league right now, 50, 40, 90. Averaging 20 points and 8 assists right now for the Cavs. So I think a lot of it is they're healthy now, but then Kenny Atkinson came in and brought a belief. And, when his interview, they talked about acquisition and who he needed. He said, I don't need anybody. Keep the squad. Bring the talent that you have here. I'll make it work. And then he's doing it.
And I will co-sign that, definitely. I've always loved Kenny Atkinson myself. When I saw him in Brooklyn, when he had D'Angelo Russell, he was supposed to have Kyrie Irving. That's the year Kyrie went there. He didn't play all season. I didn't think he got a fair shake when he got fired from the Brooklyn Nets early on in this season. You know, he's always been a systematic guy. And then to go to Golden State afterwards, you know, coach under Steve Kerr and get that system, win those championships, and then get his second opportunity as a head coach. I've definitely, you know, co-signed the fact that Kenny Atkinson is a heck of a basketball coach, and I think that he's definitely taking this team to the next level. And to that point, Darius Garland, and we saw him elevate last year as an all-star, you know, as an all-NBA player. I really felt like after watching that game, OKC versus Cleveland, and you saw that big, you see the clutchness from him. He's confident, you know, he's healthy, and then you have a running mate like a Donovan Mitchell who can drop 50 at any given time in the playoffs. He's proven valid. You got those bigs. When I look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, I look at a team that is definitely going to be challenging the Boston Celtics to represent the Eastern Conference in the NBA Finals.
And wait, can I just add to that? To me, Darius Garland, hey, just shout out to him out of Gary, Indiana, of course, Jackson 5 area. He played it down here in Vanderbilt and down, of course, SEC. Used to see him. I'd never seen Darius Garland scream. What y'all do to that man? He was out there screaming on cats. He looking swagged out. He looking like Donovan Mitchell. Move over. I'm the man. What's up? Yeah, Darius Garland balling 50, 40, 90, screaming on cats. Is it really simply Kenny Atkinson that has really gotten him feeling? He's been moving on up, but like, how did he really unlock his game? Is it just a maturity? Because one of the things that we forget about the NBA, man, these cats are young. I think Garland's like 24, younger cat, but a vet, 24, 25-ish. And so what is it about Darius Garland? And then twofolds with that, Darius Garland in particular, do you talk about Atkinson? Is he a championship winning coach?
I think, well, to what he did, I think he just allowed those guys to be free. I think he adjusted his system to them. Like I said, he came in and said, I don't need any other players. Let me work with what you already have. And he came in and gave them the freedom to be themselves. And I think in turn, that allowed them. I think JB is a great coach, phenomenal, did a lot here, doing a lot in Detroit. But I think his system was his system. Whereas Kenny Atkinson tailors, modifies, adjusts his system to the players that he has. And when the players buy into that, and the players see that, oh, he's going to allow me to be myself, then they go to the next level, put forth that extra effort for you as well. And I think it's simply that. As far as him, screaming on cats and doing all that, again, I think maturation. He's a young vet. But I think now he's to the point where, this is my squad. He was an all-star early in his career. He fought through a couple years of injuries. Now he's healthy. And so it's like, league, here I am.
Very good. And for a coach to tell the ownership and general manager that, hey, give me the guys, keep them as they are. I'll work, make it work. And that says a lot right there.
Definitely. Kudos to Dan Gilbert and Kobe Altman. Kobe Altman, like, it's low key. He's in the lab right now working on some things. This team, as I said, best record in the league, 34-6, but he's looking at some an addition or two that could take this team to the next level. Looking at a swing, a three-man, three that's a perimeter defender. That's the one thing with the smallest backcourt that the Cavs have. Garland being 6'1", 6 foot. Donovan Mitchell being 6'1" as well. The bigs can erase a lot of defensive liabilities, but you need that perimeter defender. And one of the names that's being floated out there right now is Cam Johnson from Brooklyn. That potentially could happen by February 6th trade deadline. And if it does, this team can only go even further than they are now. And they're 34-6 now. So.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's interesting. So
what
to
about
me,
a guy like Bruce Brown? Do you think he'll fit?
He's again on the smaller side. Johnson's 6'8", so he gives them that three, that swing, 3-4, stretch forward if possible. But they're looking for someone that's a shooter, and he shoots 40% from the 3-point line. Someone that can defend, and at that bigger body size. So I think Cam Johnson right now is the target.
I love it. Who do you think is probably the biggest adversary to the Cavs. I know that they played Boston twice already, I think, and they split. Milwaukee is crazy. Milwaukee, they trying to figure it out. They won the cup. They get their little banner or whatnot. They 11 games back of the Cavs, so it's going to be a really, really hard to catch them. Who do you think is going to give them the most trouble built where they are, where the Cavs are right now, as you move forward and start to line up those playoff matchups?
Probably Boston, and it's crazy to say because right now they're 6.5 up on Boston as we speak. But I mean, Boston's the champ. You know, Ric Flair said it: to beat a man, you got to beat the man. So, and they took them, you know, last year in the playoffs 5. Jared Allen was hurt, so you didn't really see a full complement that the Cavs have to offer. But Boston, but I think this year's edition of the Cavs could give Boston a run for their money.
Excellent. And can you tell us, switch over? Go ahead. You got one more NBA. I want to switch over to Ohio State to the game and give his prediction. And he covers the Buckeyes as well.
Yeah, I get yep, on Notre Dame on Monday. So real quick, Atlanta though. I know the Cavs have lost. I think they're 0-2 against Atlanta and Ice Trae. And we don't really get to hear about them, but we know that A can get live. They split. I'm sorry, both games. One game was on the road, one game was at home, but they're 0-2 against Atlanta. Any thoughts on, is that just a fluke, or is that something you think could continue to be an issue moving forward versus the Hawks?
No, you're right. They did lose to Atlanta both times over the Thanksgiving break, the home and home. I think it was more so. I mean, it's 82-game season, so they just got them. They got them at the right time. I don't know if Atlanta will be in the mix later on down the line to be a factor playoff as the rounds advance, but that's a matchup. Indiana possibly, they played them twice this week as well. They lost Sunday at home, beat them by 10 in Indiana in the rematch on Tuesday. So it's an 82-game season. They didn't have it twice against Atlanta, but I don't know that Atlanta will be in the mix to be a factor for them.
Love it. Well, I'll be interested for that game on January 30th. And I got shot way. I want to watch it when they play the Knicks, man. They only played the Knicks once, and that was early in the season. Let's see what they do against the Villanova Knicks, man. Let's see what they look like with that.
Yeah,
absolutely. This is Willie Gibson, host of the Will Knows podcast.
He knows.
He definitely does. He knows everything Cleveland Cavaliers basketball, and we're going to go to another one of his favorite, Ohio State. How did this team come together? All of a sudden, how the hell did they lose to Michigan the way this team is playing right now, Willie?
Yeah, a couple things. If I go back, I live in Columbus, Ohio, and if you don't beat the rival, the sky is falling. And then, yes, they lost to Michigan, absolutely. They lost by 3 points on a last-minute field goal in the fourth quarter. They lost that game because game plan, play calling. Chip Kelly, there's this stat that the last 21 years, whoever wins the Russian battle wins the game in Ohio State, Michigan. So he was adamant on attempting to run the ball. Well, you have 2 top 10 defensive tackles in the middle of that defensive line for Michigan, and they weren't having it. And they just refused to modify the game plan. Mind you, you have an all-world freshman and Jeremiah Smith on the perimeter that when you did throw him the ball, that's how you scored your touchdown. But they just continued to run the ball, and they admitted it post-game after the fact. And I think because of that, there was a team meeting a week later, players only, and then Coach Day came in, and it was pretty heated. Minds were clear, words were said, and since then, you've seen what you've seen in the playoffs. So I think for almost in a strange way, they needed that loss to recalibrate, and now you see the result.
Absolutely. And obviously Monday night, what do you think the final score will be?
Monday night?
Or not, yeah, Monday the 20th, yes.
Right. No, I was being. I wanted to make sure you got that.
Will knows. He knows.
He knows.
28-17. 28-17. Let's not discount Notre Dame as well. Notre Dame, they may not have the talent that Ohio State brings, but they're led by Marcus Freeman. former Buckeye, Marcus Freeman.
Yes.
And what I've seen in the 3 years that he's been the head of that program, he has those guys believing. He has those guys believing. They will run through several brick walls for him, and it's working. So I'm not going to discount them. You know, while Ohio State absolutely has the advantage in talent, I don't know that this Ohio State team is to be denied. And going back to that game real quick, Ohio State linebacker coach James Laurinaitis started his coaching career. He and Marcus Freeman are best friends. They played together here at Ohio State. His Marcus Freeman's first year, he brought Laurinaitis up to Notre Dame as a GA, allowed him to get his coaching teeth sharpened. He came back to Ohio State. Now he's the Ohio State linebacker coach.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming on. We're gonna have you back on again. Definitely, Willie Gibson, the host of the Will. Tell everybody the name of your show.
Will Knows.
Yeah.
Will Knows, Pop. Yeah.
All
I
right.
appreciate it, gentlemen. Did you
Okay,
say you got
do it up, man.
You got Notre Dame this week?
Say it again.
You said you got Notre Dame this week?
You know what? I hadn't made a pick, but I know they're gonna keep it close. Again, I'm going on the offensive defense line. Ohio State's gonna be close. I like how you tried to trap me in there. That's not what I said. But again, Will knows, man. Will knows. I'll divulge it here momentarily, man. But it's gonna be a good one, hopefully. Let's go.
All right, let's go. Appreciate you, gentlemen.
I like it.
All right, take care.
All
Hey,
right.
let's get into a picks. We have a few minutes left for the NFL action. I like the Kansas City to cover the spread against Houston. I think they'll come out, roll out. They'll first quarter be shaky, but I think by the third quarter, KC will have it in control and cover. The game will be close, but KC will pull away to get to 6.5 to win by more than a touchdown. Fanatic.
Yep. I think, but don't discount. To me, everyone want to talk about CJ Stroud. It's the Texans' defensive line. It's a theme here, folks. The Texans' defensive line is really winning a lot of battles. That defense is real. Nobody talked about it, but they got a nice little juice push with my man Al Shair. I want to say slow when I say my man who got suspended by hitting Trevor Lawrence. He gives a good infusion, a little extra oomph. He a thumper, as we would say, old school. I do like Kansas City still to cover. Kansas City's playing really well, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the Texans up at the half. So check that Texas up in the first half money line or line. I like the Texans in the first half, but the Chiefs will win the game and come.
All right, Detroit. I think Detroit and Washington get into an over game. If it's over 50, I have a feeling Detroit's going to put Detroit and Washington. Jane Daniels is going to put some points on the board as well. Wouldn't be surprised if Washington covers that spread as well in that game. They seem to always hang around for some reason. Their games are every week they play an exciting game.
Radney, you was there at Tiger Stadium. You see how electric and what a unique athlete Jaden Daniels is, man. That kid out of Cali down here at LSU, the Heisman Trophy winner, he going to keep it close against all odds. If it's close, he going to win these games. Talent is too far. Shout out to the Lions GM, man, doing an amazing job of stacking talent and putting people in the right position at the right time. It's a beautiful thing. Lions will go ahead and win that game and move on back to the NFC Championship game.
Absolutely. I like the Rams with the points. 7 points right now, 6.5, 7. I like the Rams to keep that game close in Philly. They're playing good ball. Their defensive line, they got to stop the run. That's what cost them the last time against Saquon Barkley. I think right now they're playing better. That loss helped them. They played much better since that loss. Then we get to the big one, the granddaddy of them all, Buffalo, Baltimore. I like Buffalo with the defense covering it up. Hopefully.
What do you mean, hopefully? What in the world? I've been waiting for 15 minutes. The world been waiting for how the Bills is going to stop the Ravens offense. And the Radman, J-GILLZ, you heard the Radman end up with hopefully. Good God almighty. Radman, stay with your chest. What you thinking? What in the world? You heard? He said hopefully. What?
Hopefully,
this one. The Bills go at Radman, how the Bills going to win? Don't just tell it. Well, how they going to win?
They're going to run the football, control the time of possession. Last time, they couldn't hear their signal calls in Baltimore. They were off-kiltered in that game. Baltimore jumped on them from the opening kickoff. First play, they ran that touchdown run with the Mack truck. This time, Buffalo going to control it with the running game. You mentioned the offensive line. That's why we had Spencer Brown and Deion Dawkins both on this morning because it's going to be key for them. They're going to run the football with their blocking schemes and control, and then pass off the run to control time of possession once again. That's how the Bills going to win this by a field goal.
Okay.
Sounds good, Brad, man.
Very
Sounds
optimistic.
good.
Very optimistic.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Sounds good.
Very optimistic.
What I do know is this if I've been predicting this. I said if Buffalo can find a way to beat Baltimore, then they should find themselves in the Super Bowl. And I think this is their biggest challenge. I don't know if they can do it, but we shall see.
We're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see.
Yeah, it should be a great game. I'm looking forward to it. And did they finish the vote on the MVP yet?
Not yet. That's going to come out on NFL Honors on the 9th. But
On the 9th. So
on the 9th of February.
So for all intents and purposes, but the voting is over with.
Yeah, I was gonna say yep. I would say the voting will not encompass this game. The voting is done. We just don't know who won yet.
Well, I think the voting is not done. I think they're waiting. I think they're waiting for this game tomorrow to pick the victor. And that's what I depict MVP. That's what I think. Yeah. That's what I think.
I know the Radman has his vote, so he can tell you the whole process. He had to submit it a deadline. But BacSpin, hey, we know the world is it could be a little underworld to everything. I would say you never know.
You never know. You never know.
You might be right, BacSpin. Until that ceremony on the NFL Honors on that February 8th, Saturday night.
It's just so crazy how it lined up like this. You know what I mean? Like, for these two top guys to be, the two front runners of the MVP, and then, we won't know until after this game is played. I mean, come on now.
Okay, I love it. Hey, BacSpin, we're gonna hold the tape, so we're gonna see whoever wins this game. You think we might hear at the honors that they may be also announced the MVP.
That's what I think. Yes,
I hear you. I speak BacSpin. I'm with you.
Yeah,
BacSpin. Hey, we gotta make sure we get our fantasy league right.
We'll talk off air. I came in second due to the last day of the season. Of the regular season, I played against a bunch of starters while I'm over here trying to, but hey, let that be a lesson to me and to you guys. Yeah. You know what I mean? Next year, though, we're going to end the season a little sooner, though.
Shameless plug. J-GILLZ did win the Zeal Life Fantasy Football League. Just letting y'all know, J-GILLZ won the $1,000 and the trophy in my own league. Because I drafted Lamar Jackson, Saquon Barkley, George Kittle. Man, your boy did his thing with the Zeal Life Fantasy.
I was in 6 leagues. I made the top. I placed twice in 2 leagues, second in 2 leagues, first in 1 league, and then the other 3 I didn't do so well. But hey, three.
6 leagues? My God.
3 ain't bad. Yeah. 3 ain't bad.
Woo, that's a lot of work.
But we pressed up against the fellas. I'll check back in with y'all next week. Salute to the Real Deal Sports crew. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy the playoffs.
Happy Martin Luther King Jr.
King Day.
Yes, indeed. We definitely going to represent for Martin Luther King inside the Back in Time Mix Show, which is on the way right here on the beat. Keep it locked.
Like, comment, subscribe.
That's right. Please do. Wait a minute, still.